Hello, I'm Dr. Sunny Fridge. Welcome to another edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Season 2 is dedicated to helping you unleash your inner speaking superpowers. And each week, you get tips, tools, and techniques to help you become better communicators. I believe everyone has a purpose and the potential to live their best life. Sometimes to live that best life, you have to overcome your fears and challenges. On this edition of Rise and Shine, my guest will share how you can speak boldly and share your powerful message with the world. Now, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, share in the comments below where you're watching or listening from. And if you're listening by podcast, please subscribe so you never miss a show. My guest is often described as your kick-in-the-pants guide en route to your desired destination. Vasavi Kumar is a licensed therapist and certified coach. The Ivy League grad is co-author of the best-selling book, Succeeding in Spite of Everything. She's been featured in the Wall Street Journal and previously appeared on NBC as the Keeping It Real guru on Kansas City Live. She was even featured on VH1's Basketball Wives, where she coached one of the main stars of the show. Today, she's here to talk about how to get clarity when it comes to finding your voice and creating your message. Welcome, Vasavi.
Hi, Dr. Sunny. Thank you so much for having me today.
And thank you for being here. Now, first of all, just share a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot to share, but I would say, I think what I would love for your viewers and your listeners to know about me is that I am fiercely dedicated and passionate about helping small business owners, speakers, anyone who feels like they have a powerful message to share, really share that message boldly, courageously, with confidence, with conviction, because what I know to be true for myself is that when I am transparent and when I share my story, I never know who I'm impacting. We live in a world where where we can feel isolated, especially with social media. Like, you would think that we'd feel more connected, but it actually is creating more of a rift between having that connection. And so one of the things that I work on with my clients is to really help them articulate, position, package, and share their story and share their message to land with their target audience, because it is so important to use your voice. It is so important to speak up. It is so important to take what you have learned, the lessons learned, and to share that, because you never know who you can help in the process in doing so. And that's just a little bit about me on the professional front and what I do and really what my mission is here on this earth.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And just a little bit more, what were just a couple of defining moments that have made you so passionate and giving you your purpose and your why to do what you do?
I'm a first generation Indian American. My parents are from India, and they came to this country in the 70s. My mom would bring my sister and I back to India every year since we were like 2 or 3 years old. She didn't want us to lose the culture. And at 4 years old, I remember witnessing a homeless man. You have to remember, India is 1/3 the size of the US, but we have 3 times the population. Most of our population lives on the streets. There's a huge gap between upper class and lower class, and there's a huge gap between upper, middle, and lower class. And I remember seeing this man eating out of a pile of garbage. And I remember thinking to myself at the age of 4, I don't understand why people have to suffer. I just became very curious about suffering. And it got me in touch with my own internal struggle and my own internal conflict. And so that defined me, because I made it my mission from that point on to really get to know people, to really understand what keeps them up at night, and to provide solutions, and to really understand, well, how do we get you out of this cycle of suffering and not feeling good? And what I've learned along the way through my 2 masters, through volunteering when I was in my 20s in India with survivors of sex trafficking, and just really following my own gut and following my own intuition and following my own compass, my gifts, passions, and skills. What I've realized is this: with every single person that I've worked with, every single one, including myself, because I'm a project for myself, when you do good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good. So it's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? I really don't know. But I know that feeling good really comes from doing what fulfills you, helping others, doing what makes you happy. And that was definitely a defining moment. Another defining moment for me is I'm actually today, as we record this, I'm 11 months sober. So I'm in my own recovery process with alcohol and substance abuse. And I had a pretty rough time after I got divorced 5 years ago. No one prepares you for getting divorced. No one prepares you for that. Right. And I got into a toxic relationship. I ended up getting addicted to cocaine and alcohol in a way that I never thought that, like, me, all this bio and everything that you read about me, like, that was me. That's me on paper. But what people didn't know about what the secret that I was hiding behind closed doors, that defined me because it showed me how far removed I became from myself and my core self. So by the grace of God, here I am, almost a year sober. And that has really given me a sense of groundedness and centeredness and a type of confidence that I don't think I ever would have gotten from any of those degrees that I ever got, any of the money that I've ever made, any of the cool things that I've ever done. Nothing has afforded me this type of confidence and clarity that I have other than my own recovery, because I did it for myself. I didn't do it for anybody else. So those are really the two defining moments in my life, I would say, like from early on and most recently. I'm 37 now, and being in this recovery process, really, it's been a rough 4 years, and I'm happy to say I'm out of it, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, so I'm very grateful for that.
Awesome. So much that you just shared there, and your confidence is amazing. I know that you believe that self-confidence starts with trusting your intuition and speaking boldly for what you stand for. So there are entrepreneurs and leaders in the audience, and they probably have services and products that they'd like to get to their core, their tribe, their audience, but they're not quite sure what their message is. Talk about the process that you might go through to help them figure out what their message is, and then how to take that message and get it to the audience.
My message has changed a lot, right? It's as you grow and as your business grows, as you evolve as a person, as your business evolves, your message may change or it may not. And what I've realized in my process, my core message has pretty much always stayed the same. It's like, stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Figure out who you are. Cultivate a relationship with yourself. Know who you are so well that no one can tell you who you are, that you become unshakable. When you know who you are, when you're clear on who you are, confidence naturally emerges from that. It does, because when you know who you are and you're not sitting trying to get your family's approval, your partner's approval, your friend's approval, social circles, I need this person to like me. When you don't care about that anymore because you know who you are, that's where the confidence comes from. So my process is this. I have spent a lot of time with myself and cultivating a relationship with myself. All the stuff that I've gone through, all the struggles that I've gone through has forced me to have to look inwards. It's like, it's either keep doing things the way that I was doing it, or I was forced to look at myself. So I was forced to look at myself, and I'm very grateful for everything that I've ever gone through, as tough as it may seem. And I will say the process is this. If you're not clear on your core message, start by asking yourself, what do you care about? What are your values? What makes you angry? What brings you to tears? What is it that, keeps you up at night? What could you talk about forever? If you could write a how-to article, what would you write about? If you had 30 seconds to share a message with the world, what would you want to say to them? But everything that I've just said, all these exercises and little prompts I've given you, all require you to know yourself. You got to know yourself. When you know yourself, you can do, be, and have anything that you want. You're not scared to pitch yourself to the media. You're not scared to do a live public speaking event. You're not afraid to ask people or to offer your products and services. You're not afraid of putting yourself out there, because when you're clear on who you are, when you are clear that you have value to offer, that you are the solution to somebody's problem, when you are crystal clear on all of those things, there's really no reason to hesitate at that point. And I want to say this, that I get scared. Mm-hmm. I have fear. I wonder, should I be doing this? Should I not? I don't give it much attention though, because those thoughts are always there. This is why, once again, Getting to know yourself is important. I know the way my mind works. I know the minute I want to up level, my mind comes in and says, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure this is going to work out? That I know my mind. I know the way it works. I expect it. I welcome it. I know the minute I declare I'm going to up level, or I'm going to walk away from this, or I'm going to set a boundary, or I'm going to put myself out there. The minute I become confident, the doubt creeps in. That is the nature of our mind, is to keep us comfortable and keep us safe. That's okay. We you know, it's its way of protecting us from failure. It's its way of protecting us from looking stupid, right? Or making a damn fool of ourselves. It's okay. It's always going to be there, right? This is why sitting in silence with yourself, cultivating a relationship with yourself, spending quiet time with yourself, and understanding the way your mind works, observing your thoughts is so important, because when you understand the nature of your mind, it's not a surprise when you get doubt. Like, of course I get doubt. And I'm like, oh, there you go again. There you go again. Like, meditation, sitting in quiet, you know, not consuming tons of information all the time, and understanding how because this will drive you, and this will drive you crazy if you let it. But if you understand how it works, and everyone's mind works differently, but its sole purpose is to split us. The sole purpose of our mind is to keep us in duality, right? Because when we're one with ourselves, we're unstoppable. But as long as we live in duality, we can always stay a little safe and comfortable. So you have to understand that about your mind. You have to know yourself. You have to know how you operate. You have to know how you sabotage yourself. You have to know yourself, period.
Yes, you have to know yourself to grow yourself, and you've got to have that confidence. And when you have that confidence, it breeds competence. And I love you saying, then you're unstoppable. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Virtual high five.
By the way, shout out to you. got to know yourself to grow yourself. That is great. I love that. I will shout that out, and I will give you props for that, because that is brilliant. Know yourself to grow yourself.
Well, Thank you. Now I have to say that as time runs out, you have courses, because actually that's how I found you. And I love one of your courses that deals with taking action and having confidence, because it makes you get to know yourself. So talk about that and any of your other ways that you help clients.
Beautiful. Thank you. I have a course right now. It took me a while to develop it. I wanted to offer two things. The first course is the Art of Taking Confident Action. It's helping you get clear on what you want, why you want it, what are the beliefs that are going to stop you from getting it, and what are the new beliefs that you have to replace, and how are you going to get it. The how will come when you know why you're doing it and what you want, and also are very clear on how you stop yourself and what you're going to tell yourself instead. That's called the Art of Taking Confident Action. Actually, right now, for your listeners and your viewers, it's normally priced at $197, and if you enter the promo code ACTION upon checkout, you get $100 off. So it's less than $100. It's a 5-week online course. You can do it at your own pace. I say spread it out, but whatever. You can. You get my audios, you get my worksheets. That's just the features of it. But what you really walk away with, the benefit of doing this course is, first of all, we talked all about getting to know yourself, right? Part of getting to know yourself, all of getting to know yourself, is to really ask yourself, what do I want in my life? We are not trained to ask ourselves what we want. We're not, because it's considered selfish. And it's not selfish to ask what you want. It is absolutely necessary to ask yourself what you want, so you can show up living your best and living intentionally, right? And so this is really for the person who wants to live intentionally. I also have an 8-week course called The Source of Your Success. This is a little bit more in depth. This is really about understanding you at the core. What are your, the source actually is 6 pillars. It's about getting connected with yourself spiritually. And that spiritually can be defined whatever, doesn't matter your religion or anything. It's really that connection with yourself, really taking true ownership of who you are, understanding your purpose, why you're here, realizing and realigning your vision, and being a conscious creator, right? Not just letting things happen versus you making them happen, and aligning that with your spiritual connection, because we are not in this alone. There is something higher than us guiding us. And I truly believe that. And then lastly, your energy. Everything is energy, right? Who you allow in, who you keep out, what your thoughts, your words, your actions. We are walking energy. And so that's really a deep dive into you as well. So that's on my site as well. It's a little bit of a longer course, a little bit more content in there. Both are valuable. It really depends on where you're at. All the information is on my site. Those are online courses. If you're ready to work with an actual human being, I am here. So I do offer one-on-one strategy sessions. I have focused clarity sessions. You come with your biggest challenge, you walk away with 3 action steps. There is no excuse in this day and age to sit and suffer and sit and struggle. There are people that can help you. There are resources that can help you. This is an opportunity to come, bring your biggest challenge, walk away with your 3 action steps so you can keep it moving. I no matter what I've ever been through, Dr. Sunny, I did not allow myself to stay stuck. Stagnation scares the crap out of me. Like if I'm not moving and micro evolving, something's wrong, right? So I do clarity sessions. And then for your listeners who are really trying to up-level their speaking game or really bring more boldness to their voice in any situation, at work, with your partnership, communication with a friend, with a loved one, with a client, just we need our voice and we need to communicate. I offer Speak Boldly sessions. I have other ways to work with me too. All of that is on my site, but those are the ones that I really wanted to highlight.
And your site.
Yes.
The website
is my name. I should have probably mentioned that. VasaviKumar.com. I thought that was self-explanatory. Sorry. It is VasaviKumar.com, my first and last name. And you can find everything on there.
Thank you so much. Now, before I let you go, you wrote a book, best-selling book called Succeeding in Spite of Everything. And you wrote it with, among a few people, Lisa Nichols.
Sorry, 1 second. There was someone
up the door. Is that Lainey? Is that your dog?
That is definitely Lainey. Come here.
Well, the love of your life. Hi, Lainey. Hi, Lainey.
There's something else. What did I do? Listen, she's a good dog because I think we just got a package dropped off.
Okay. Well, she was just saying sometimes life is rough.
I can't get mad at her. Look at these eyes. Look.
I know. I used to have to myself and love, find ways to have self-love. That's what I hear you saying, being with yourself and knowing yourself. Iyanla Vanzant has said, I'm not by myself, I'm with myself. And that stuck with me years and years later because that's what you have to do. Get with yourself so that you know yourself to grow yourself, right?
Yes, because if you don't get with yourself, somebody else will get with you who will drag you down. People will tell you who you are. Been there, done that. And best mistake I ever made was to get with someone who defined me. Because it wasn't until I hit that rock bottom, I was forced to have to get with myself. I don't regret it at all. And the book. So what were you asking about the book?
One of the co-authors along with you was Lisa Nichols, a great public speaker and just wonderful guru herself.
Yes. She was my mentor. She was my first ever mentor. In 2010, when I started my business, I joined her global leadership program. Lisa is a force of nature. She taught me a lot of what I really built my business, the foundation on, as far as internet marketing, how to speak with authenticity, how to share my story. And I've never forgotten how she's trained me. She is someone that truly, truly cares about all of her students. And I'm very lucky that I got a chance to work with her. The chapter in the book, Succeeding in Spite of Everything, is called Bipolar and Brilliant. It really talked about my own diagnosis that I had received back in my in my 20s. I no longer identify with that diagnosis. That's a whole nother conversation to have, that we can have. But I wanted to write this chapter for people who are sick of really allowing labels to define them and seeing the silver lining in everything and really take your greatest pain and turn it into your most powerful asset. I think it's still available, actually.
Wonderful. Now, lastly, I've heard you speak before, and my show is called Rise and Shine, and you speak often about the importance of being able to shine. I don't know what might come to your mind, but go ahead and use it in a sentence. Shine.
So, okay. I refuse to dim my light because when I shine, everybody shines.
Amen. Woo-hoo. Boom. Love it. Love it. Love it. Look, you've given me your information. You've let others know how they can reach you. I thank you so much for your time. And if I was to ask you what makes you happy, what does make you happy, Vasavi?
That's a great question, Dr. Sunny. What makes me happy is knowing that I am using my talents and I'm using my gifts, and I'm not sitting on I am not sitting on potential. As long as I'm alive, I will always be using my potential to the fullest, and I will always be using my talent, my gifts, my passions, and my skills to help other people.
Thank you so much for your time. We have enjoyed being a part of your conversation, and thanks for helping my guests, because I'm sure that if they reach you, they will be blessed. So you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Again, thank you to my guest, Vasavi Kumar. I continue to be blessed by your texts, your emails, and comments on social media to let me know you've been inspired by the stories of my guests and the tips that we've shared. Shout out to viewer and past guest, Chris Mitchell, who on our Facebook page said, "I'm full of gratitude that God directed me toward Dr. Sunny. I'm a proud new subscriber of her podcast." Thank you, and bless you, Chris. I'd love to give you a shout out, so drop a message in the comments and let me know what you enjoy about this show. And if you enjoy our programs, if you haven't done so already, please consider making a donation of any amount at WYTV7.org to help our CBN broadcasters continue to bring the mission to bring you programming that educates, empowers, and encourages. After every premiere of Rise and Shine on WYTV7 Facebook and YouTube, you'll also be able to listen anytime to each episode of Rise and Shine by podcast, Spreaker, iHeart, Google, Spotify, and more. If you're not on social media, you can find all my shows and podcasts online at WYTV7.org/rise-shine. And please like my Facebook page at facebook.com/I Rise and Shine. I share tips there to help you unleash your inner speaking superpowers, some you may not even know you had. I look forward to helping you shine. And my guest today has reminded me of a quote by Marianne Williamson. She said, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I challenge you, rise above your speaking anxiety, rise above your fear, rise to the challenge and the opportunity to shine as an effective communicator. I'm Dr. Sunny, reminding you it's your time to rise and shine.